Hey foodies, Chef Tiki here, and today on Tiki's Tidbit, we're discussing how to slice and dice the onion. Yes, the onion. A lot of people have asked me, how do they cut this onion without crying? And a lot of people have also shared that they don't use the onion simply because they don't like the experience that happens when they cut the onion. I remember growing up as a younger girl. It's crazy, but someone told me if you put water on the inside of your forearms, like put the water then, and then you kind of move it in front of your eyes. It's a shield, and so when you get ready to cut the onion, the gases wouldn't affect you. Yeah, so that didn't work. Even when I went to school, we were just told, hey, have a really sharp blade, and you got to get really good with your knife, and you got to cut those onions quickly, and that's going to help alleviate the gases, getting to your eyes. Well, what I found to work best for me, and this is just a personal thing, is I store my onions in the cooler. So when I go to the grocery store, I know that onions are not sold in the cool section. However, when I come home, I always put them in the cooler or the refrigerator, that's what you probably call it, because it helps with the gases. So the colder the onion is, by the time you get ready to cut it, the gases take longer to expel from the onion, so it prevents all that crying that happens. So that's my tip for the day. Store your onions in the cooler. All right. Second thing, really important, because this could, save a finger. This is the top of the onion. Yes, this is the bottom of an onion. It looks like a hairy, could be mistaken for a beard or something. I don't know. But that is the actual root of the onion, the core of the onion. You remove this part and basically you dismantle all the layers of the onion. You don't want to do that. So do not remove the core until you're done. So you do want to remove the top part of the onion. And we're going to go ahead and go into that demonstration, okay? So you're going to remove the top part of the onion like so, and that's just going to create a base for you now. So now that part is exposed. You can turn that over on the bottom side. Well, the top was the top, now the bottom. And then we're going to cut the onion right in half. Now you will be able to smell the onion, but the gases, hopefully, if you've chilled it long enough, not like 5-10 minutes, I usually just store them in there, that will prevent you from crying. All right, so again, here's the root part. We're just gonna cut that right in half. All right, so now we have 2 halves of the onion. I've also heard that if you put the face down, that kind of stops the gases from coming up. I don't know. I don't have time for all those. I know it works for me now, and I'm just gonna stick to that. So then I'm gonna remove the paper, because while we appreciate nature giving us this protective from the insects and bugs getting into our food, it's not edible. So we're going to remove that. That's 1 half. And we're going to do the same thing here. Once we get this paper removed, we're going to show you slicing or dicing. Depending on what your recipe calls for, it's going to basically denote what you're going to do with your onion. So I'm going to remove this so you can see here a little more clear. So with this half of the onion, we're going to show slicing. If the recipe calls for slicing, you're going to slice the onion. Maybe you're doing some fajitas or you're making a country gravy and you want the onions to be prevalent in there. So this is my root part that I have not cut, and you see that it's basically holding the whole onion together. All right, so just right along that piece, I'm just gonna go ahead and slice. And you get these perfect slices, depending on how thick or thin you like to do that. You get those, okay? And then for this part, we're gonna do the dicing. And so you're just gonna I usually do horizontally first. Go in there and then turn around. Got some loose cutting boards here, and do the vertical. And then you can do this small, medium, or large. The trick is, there's your dices. So now you have your slices and then your dices. The trick is, though, with the onion, depending on what you're cooking, You want to make sure that if it's going to be a longer cooking time, you want to have the onions be a lot larger so they can withstand the heat. If you're making a guacamole or a salsa, then you want to dice those onions as fine as possible because no one wants to bite into a raw, pungent onion. All right, so that's all I have for you today on Tiki's Tidbit. I hope that help somebody. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. If you have any requests on some tidbits you'd like to see, feel free to let me know that as well, and I'll try my best to get those done for you. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye.